Well, hello. This is quite unusual. I normally don't come live on Mondays, number one. Number two, something that was just on my heart based on the experience I had this weekend at the retreat in Marietta, um, California, with the host Angie Beal. An amazing experience. Um, but I wanted to just share for a few minutes since I'm delayed. I figured I can make best use of this time. Um, a thought to share is I don't know who it's for, but something's breaking in your favor. Um, and sometimes, what I realized during this weekend was in a room with three-fourths of the people, never met them before. Um, Evangelist, prophetess, um, people who are carrying a mantle of the word, and from all different perspectives, worship, word, psalmists, authors, a lot of different areas. And one of the things I noticed with that is that when there is an alignment in the spirit, it doesn't matter whether you know a person or not, because God knows all things. And so He is orchestrating our steps when we don't even realize it. And so there were so many things that happened that were in direct correlation to what God is doing in this season and what He has me sharing. And it's a message that I have tried to be disciplined and obedient to stay focused with. And that is that the message of clarity and self worth. And so, for those of you who have been following and have been tuning in, of course, I've been talking about the self work framework and doing the work for you and understanding who you are, being clear about who you are, what you are, and why you are since January 1 of this year. And so, it's been the continued message, and what I'm finding everywhere I go, it doesn't matter in the valley, on the mountaintop, up north, east, west, people are unclear. And when we're unclear, we're not confident. And when we're not confident, we don't communicate well. And when we don't communicate well, we don't do well in collaborating with one another. And so it was the same in this setting. It was a message that rang true. It resonated. It aligned, and God had a word for this season and for this time. And so those words were in very much alignment with what God had been sharing with me. And what we have to always remember is that when we get prophetic words, because prophets hear in part, they speak in part. It's something that God has already shared with us, and so God gives us confirmation, and sometimes at the most inopportune time, and sometimes from strangers. But God will let you know that yeah, you heard me, and so that was the case this weekend, and so I was so blessed by that. Um, and so that's why I said something's breaking in your favor, and I believe that is sooner than later, and in this very moment, in this very time. So begin to just be open for that, and not only that, receive it, because what you receive is what you believe that becomes your truth. And so until you receive it, believe it, then it's not true for you. And so just a lot of confirmation this weekend, amazing, amazing time. And so just wanted to share a little Monday motivation for your inspiration. And I hope that you will be in tune to what's happening. We launching the series on clarity, um, and continuing that conversation. And of course, that self work framework is self reflection, self awareness, self knowledge, self direction, which helps us to have and foster good self leadership. So we got some more that we're going to be talking about as it relates to that. In addition to the upcoming Pen to Paper Summit that's happening in Dallas, Texas, January 31st, 2026. That registration is now open and available. You want to make sure that you grab your seat, secure your seat. VIP goes rather quickly. So that is the night of the five-star dining experience and the mentoring. So that's always an amazing time for you to have that one-on-one time with the coaches and the facilitators. And then we'll have our summit on that Saturday. It's going to be some amazing information to help you move forward in what it is that God's giving you to do. But it's so important that we write the vision, make the vision plain, and we get it on paper. And so that goes far beyond the surface. We want to understand what we're putting on paper. We want to be clear about what we're putting on paper. One thing's for sure: if you are a leader, entrepreneur, ministry leader, always remember, if you're not clear, the people you work with are not clear. Your team is not clear, because it's important that we communicate effectively so that we can give good instructions and be clear about who we are, what we are, and why we are. And that's going to impact how it is that your team functions. So just wanted to share that since I had a little time, and we'll resume on tomorrow night with a more in-depth discussion. I'm going to be talking about self-narration. And what you say to yourself matters. We talk to ourselves more than we talk to anybody else, and how we narrate our story, how we tell our story makes a difference, because it's what we believe. And so if you're telling yourself a lie, and guess what? You're going to reap the consequences of that lie. But if you're telling yourself truth and you walk in
Once
truth,
again, folks,
you
each
have a
person
different
is allowed
perspective.
2 items. You can
All
go here
right, we'll
with
see
green.
you
I've
next
been asked you
time
to step to the side.
for
You're going to be
Tuesday
losing your place on line. Once
motivation
again,
and
folks, you need to
conversation,
consolidate or get the
9
third
p.m.
item
Central Standard
checked
Time.
in,
We'll see
please.
you right back here. Have a good one.